Razorback and SEC fans, don't forget to check out the Pig Trail Network Patreon page. Only $4 a month, which goes towards supporting the YouTube channel. You can find the Patreon link down below any PTN video in the description box. If you'd rather make a one-time donation, that is also located in the description box as well. Thank you for all of your support, and of course, woo pig suey. All right, Arkansas Razorback fans, I am sitting here with the one, the only Warmachine, who if you don't know who he is, first off, I think you've probably been living in a closet. The guy has so many highlight videos of Arkansas athletics, it's ridiculous. Over something like, what, 2-3 million total views?
Well, heck, I can pull it up real quick. It's, let me see.
It is a lot.
It's a lot. Combined I got over 700 videos up, so it is quite a few. 4,682,309 views.
Holy cow.
That's insane.
And your subscriber count is what?
5,628.
Yeah. That's
more, 5,000 more than I thought I'd ever have.
Yeah. That's incredible, because I know anytime going back a long ways, ever before I even started doing Pig Trail Network or uploading videos to YouTube, all I had to do was type in Darren McFadden. And there's Warmachine, there's his content, or, 1994 National Championship, basketball. There's a Warmachine video. The guy, you know who he is. So you may not realize it, but you know who he is, and this is his face, red beard and all, sir. How you doing?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
Doing good, man. I'm enjoying. I got to mow the lawn when we're done with this. So I'm not really looking forward to that, but it is what it is.
So I got mine knocked out for today, so I'm going to kind of take it easy.
Yeah, just sit back, sip some tea, upload some more videos to YouTube. Let's start off with just the question that I've had ever since I first found you. How long have you been uploading videos to YouTube?
Well, this will be my 10th season, actually. I started in the fall of 2009 with that football season.
Wow.
I actually started making a little bit before that, in that spring, just kind of messing around with it. Uploaded a couple of videos, but consistently since the fall of 2009.
That's a long time.
Oh, it is a long time. I never thought I'd be doing it this long, but I'm kind of addicted to it at this point. I kind of have to do it. I feel obligated to do it. People if I don't upload a video within a day, people are freaking out on me. So I got to get it done as soon as I can.
Yeah. Yeah, I see your comment section's always rocking, and then you'll have someone, they've always got suggestions like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this player? And, whatever era. Let me ask you this. Before you ever started doing YouTube or uploading videos, was there any YouTuber or content creator that kind of inspired you at all to take this path?
Yeah, there were a few. There were a couple of Arkansas guys. And for the life of me, I cannot remember their names. I hate that I can't, but I have a terrible memory, I'll be honest. One guy, he made game like every single game, win or lose, and he would, before each game, before the actual highlights started, have like newspaper clippings of like leading up to the game, some audio clips every now and then actual game highlights of every single game, win or lose. He had games dating back to like 02. He did it from like 02 to 08, and I think unfortunately the copyright Nazis took him down, and thankfully that's kind of when I picked up the slack a little bit. And there was another guy who kind of, I think, either took his footage and then some of his own and put music to it. I think he might still be around. I'm not sure. And then there were a few other, just seeing other schools. There's this Michigan guy that has got videos dating back to the 40s. There's an Oklahoma guy. Wow. There's Iowa guy. It's amazing seeing that. I wanted to be the Arkansas guy that had footage just dating back decades. And I just got more games. I never would have imagined I have as many games as I do. It's amazing. I never thought I would have a game from 1951 on my channel. It's amazing.
It is interesting because I can kind of relate to that. And it's weird. It's not really sports related, but when I first started watching YouTube about a little more than a decade ago, I started watching a YouTuber. I didn't even realize, this is kind of a real crazy story. He goes by the name Boogie2988. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this know who he is if you're a gamer and you watch YouTube videos. I loved his content. He was funny. There's a video of him smashing an Xbox. And I'd always been told, you need to do radio. You need to do something. You need to get out there and talk because you just have you're an extrovert. You've got an awesome personality. Use that. So I started watching his videos, and I just remember thinking, man, I want to do that. I want to do what he does. And obviously, I would have years later would finally get into this. So I can kind of relate. The funny thing about that is I didn't realize Boogie2988. I was living in Fayetteville, over off of Weddington.
Yeah.
He lived down the road from me.
Holy crap! Wow.
This huge YouTuber who now has over 4 million subscribers lived down the road from not far at all, and apparently we even have friends that used to hang out with him, mutual friends together. So crazy story.
Oh.
Small world, man. I still, like, that blew my mind when they were like, yeah, that's yeah, we know him. Let me ask you, your history with Arkansas. Like, how long have you, is this something since birth that you follow the Razorbacks, or maybe you kind of caught on later in life?
Oh, it's been before birth, actually. When I was in the womb. My parents, they were huge Hog fans. They went to the 1991 NCAA tournament in Atlanta the first couple of rounds when Arkansas was the #1 seed. They were living in Alabama at the time, and they figured they'd just drive over, have a good time. My mom was pregnant. She was only a few months in with me, and there was these Alabama fans there. They were being just jerks to these older Murray State fans, and my mom leaned over not one, but 2 rows to tell them, hey, I'm going to throw up on you if y'all don't cut it out. And then it's just kind of, I've been hooked ever since.
Wow, don't mess with your mom. Holy cow.
Oh, I took her to her first game of Bud Walton this past season against Missouri, and there was this older Missouri fan right behind us, and he was just one of the most obnoxious people. He was just going on the whole time. Like 30 seconds in, they call a foul or a walk, and he freaks out about it. So my mom and I are like, you know what? We're going to just mess with him. Every time he yelled something, I contradicted. Like, even before the tip-off, actually. Everyone's standing up. There's 20,000 people. Everyone's going to stand up for the tip-off.
Right.
And he, leaned into my mom. He's like, why, you don't need to be standing up. It's just ridiculous. So we just had a good time just messing with him. I'm pretty sure his blood pressure was on hypertension levels.
Good grief.
Then after us, just messing with him the whole time. And then my dad, I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a fight in games. Him and myself, we kind of run around a little bit. My grandpa's told me a bunch of stories about how there was a time they went down to Jackson, Mississippi to see Arkansas and Ole Miss play there, and that he was afraid for their lives because my dad was running his mouth so much.
Wow.
But my first game actually wasn't until 2000, season opener against Missouri State in Little Rock, and it was so freaking hot they actually had to move kickoff back a couple hours. And then my first game in Fayetteville was against Georgia later that year. It didn't go as well, and all the construction was still going on at the stadium. I actually got to see the stadium renovated in 2003 against Auburn when they had a couple of bad holding calls against George Wilson that cost them the game. And I've been to, I don't know how many games I've been to total. I've been to, I think, about 8 in Fayetteville and Little Rock each. My first basketball game was actually in North Little Rock I think at the time was Altel Arena against North Texas. They just beat OU. It was when, for some reason, myself and everyone thought John Pelfrey was the next coming of Nolan Richardson. That was a lot of fun. But my first game in Fayetteville was in 2012 when they played South Carolina. Had the documentary for Nolan Richardson afterwards, so that was really cool.
Oh, wow. And
then I got to see them a couple of years later on all the Final Four teams. Bill Clinton was there, Nolan was there, all those teams were there. That was really cool.
Yeah.
This year saw Sidney Moncrief honored. And then this past year I went to 3 games against Missouri, Oklahoma State, and Oral Roberts. And
oh, wow.
The Oklahoma State game was the best, one of the best atmospheres, actually the best basketball atmosphere I've ever been in. That was, my ears were ringing. The TV did not do it justice at all because I went home, watched it to make the highlights, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy crap, this is like a tenth of how loud it actually was.
Yeah.
So
I think that every time it's on TV, I'm like, I know it's louder than that. I know it is. I've been in that arena so many times, and even when it's only like 6,000 people, it's definitely a lot louder than what you hear on TV.
I hate the Oral Roberts game, actually. It wasn't like raucous or anything, but it got noisy at times.
Yeah. Well, going back to your, you've definitely got some deep roots in Arkansas sports. That's funny about your parents and your granddad. It runs in the family. I can relate. I definitely can relate. Going back to your YouTube channel for a second, do you have current and former, maybe Razorback athletes hitting you up to make content? I know fans do it all the time. They make requests, but do actual players ever hit you up?
Daryl Macon and Jalen Barford. I was already going to make them videos, but they sent me like suggestions for songs. C.J. Jones before he transferred. DeAndre Coley, who just graduated, he played football. He was a DB. Made him one. There was a few others. Rudolph Krim, he played safety a few years ago.
Yeah.
Um, let's see who else. Fred Talley, I've sent him some games. So he played running back in the early 2000s.
I remember Fred. Remember Fred Talley well.
Oh yeah. There's been a few others. I just can't remember all the names. There's been several though. That's really neat. To me, that's one of the neatest things. Is when a former player, is watching your channel. They're like, hey, I want a video. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Love those guys because they put in 4 or 5 years working for the Razorbacks, putting that jersey on, going out to fight every game, and being able to help them out a little bit and reward them, for being a great hog. It's awesome.
Absolutely, and that kind of goes along with it. That I think that is what kind of sets Arkansas apart from other programs. Like once you're a hog, like you're not ever forgotten. You could be someone who barely saw the field, and people who pay just a little bit of attention will remember who you are, and I think that's really special about the university and just about Arkansas in general. I want to close out. Last question. We're gonna talk just a second about Chad Morris. We know that the recruiting, I know you've probably been paying attention a little bit. Recruiting has been blowing up. Momentum is definitely seems like it's swinging in Arkansas's favor in terms of just hype and everything. What do you think? What do you see happening? What's your forecast for 2018 for Chad Morris's first year as the head hog?
First off, I'm a huge Chad Morris guy. I've been a fan of him ever since he was at Clemson. Absolutely love his offense. I try to implement some of his coaching techniques and styles into what I do when I coach. I love getting to listen to him at the Arkansas Coaches Association in Hot Springs this past February. I was actually like 5 feet from him.
Oh, wow.
And just trying not to geek out. I'm like, okay, don't panic, don't go fanboy on him. Just be cool, keep your cool.
Yeah.
Just a coach just like you. Granted, he's a head coach at an SEC team, and you're just an assistant high school coach, but keep your cool. So I'm a huge fan of the guy. I'm really excited to see what he can do. As for this year, I think they'll make a bowl game. I really do. Now, quarterback-wise, I'm anxious to see who they end up getting. Cole Kelly losing a bunch of weight, I think that'll help him out a lot. Ty Story looked like he was pushing him, though. In the spring game, I thought they were about equal. Honestly, they made some good throws. They both made some throws that were like, I thought they both made some good reads, both made some okay reads, both made some reads.
Yeah.
So I'm anxious to see who they end up going with. Evidently, it might even last till the first game because they said they might use both of them. Defensively, I think Chief will do some work. I think they'll be more aggressive, which I'm excited about because sitting back and just playing cover 3 under Bielema just didn't work. So I'm anxious to see a different approach, actually attacking defense. I think they'll win all 4 non-conference games. I think Colorado State, being a road game, will be a little tough, but they bring back only a handful of starters, like 5 total maybe, I think. North Texas won't be easy. I think they bring a bunch of guys back. I think you had a video talking about non-conference games. Did you say that North Texas might be the toughest one?
I was really impressed with North Texas. They've got a quarterback, Mason Fine. That guy,
yeah, he's good.
They're going to be dangerous, but their defense is going to be suspect. I mean, kind of what you expect from a school that size.
And Chad Morris has gone against them the last 3 years and beaten them handedly, I think, all 3 times. So that should help since he'll be familiar with them. Tulsa, I think, will be a lot better. They won 10 games in 2016, but somehow lost 10 games this past year.
Yeah.
They always play Arkansas tough, even though
do.
Arkansas has beaten them like 18 straight times. But they should win all 4 of those. Ole Miss and Vandy should be wins. I hope so because I'm going to the Ole Miss game. The toss-ups to me are A&M, which going off the recent games, it should be a toss-up. Missouri and Mississippi State. Those are the 3 toss-up games, and hopefully they can sneak up on someone else. 7-5, I would be thrilled with. I mean, I'll be thrilled with 6-6.
Yeah.
At 7-5, I think if they catch the right break, they can get to that. But
yeah,
I can't really get a good feel, to be honest with you. I'm just this new system on offense and defense, new quarterback. I don't know. I'm just anxious to see that first game.
Yeah, it is. It's hard, and I'm getting a lot of people hitting me up waiting on my prediction, and I've got it nailed down in my head, but I'm still I'm trying to go back and do as much research as possible. But you're right, it is tough. It's you don't know. Are the players really are they buying into what Chad Morris and what that staff is is coaching. Are they buying into it? We know the recruits are. Just
Yeah.
so far, with 17 commitments, they're on average, depending on what recruiting site you follow, they're like top 20 in recruiting. We know that number is going to fluctuate as the year goes on until early signing period until February. But yeah, there's a lot of questions. The offensive line now with left tackle hurt, and you got Richardson on the defense who's hurt.
Yeah.
That's the other key. Can they stay healthy leading up to the regular season? Well, that's going to do it. Again, thank you so much. We're not going to say his real name. We're just going to call him Warmachine. He, I respect his decision not to put his name out there. Completely understand. But I do appreciate you stopping by and taking a little bit of time out of your Sunday to do this interview, man.
Oh, no. Anytime you want me on, just let me know, and I'm willing to do it again.
Awesome. That's awesome, because I'm sure I'll hit you up again to do another one of these.
Oh, yeah, anytime.
So that's going to do it, guys. You know what to do. My subscribers, you guys know what to do at the end of the video. Like, comment, share the content. And if you haven't already, feel free to tap the subscribe button. And don't forget the notification bell. You guys try like hell to be kind to one another. Football season's around the corner, so good moods, good vibes all around. And we'll see you guys on the next video.